Hi, I'm Dustin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. Make your life count. We only get so many trips around the sun. Enjoy your loved ones. Love your life and perfect your life. Be with people who inspire you. Take time to smell the roses. Know when you're in the good times of life, life can end at any moment. Hello. How's everyone doing? It's good to see everyone. Hope everyone is good. Hello. Marissa should be joining us shortly. I need to turn my fan down just a little bit. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Sorry. I had to kind of play with the schedule a little bit. So I had it at, I think, 7 originally, and then I had to move it to 8. So I apologize for that. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. So we're going to be talking about Dre McKay. Okay. Today, as Marissa says. And we're going to be talking about some of the herbs and stuff that she has been taking. Just saw. Oh, thank you so much, Mystical Magnolias. Thank you. You're very kind, honey. I appreciate you. You guys have been so good to me, and you've been so good to Marissa. And I just want to say thank you for that. What about the refunds, VR? Uh, what do you want? I mean, what do you want? I'm asking. I mean, I don't know anything about them. And for as far as I know, everything has been given as far as a refund. So you can put that in your pipe and smoke it if you want. So let me see if Marissa is here. Drop a link. Let me check and see if she's here. I try to be classy about it. All right, I'm gonna drop the link. All right, bye. She's in the chat. She's in the chat. I do want to talk about something very quickly before we start with the Dre. Okay. Thank you, Lori, for the $10 super chat. You're very sweet. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. It's Walgreens. Walgreens lip tips. Dre McKay. Okay. Justin, I had to remind you about something. What, Crystal? Sometimes you have to remind me like at least 10 times.
Is Crystal the sidekick? Don't we have a number? I think we do.
For
Crystal, Dre's sidekick.
Hey, Patricia, thank you so much, honey. Appreciate
Gracias,
you.
Patricia Rodriguez. The art of toss and wash.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you, honey. You're so good.
That's our little Gwyneth.
What's that?
Our little Gwyneth Paltrow.
A little Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hey, Pam.
She
Okay, so
needs.
tell us. We're
Uh,
5 minutes in.
First, I wanted to give my condolences for Olivia Newton-John. It's very sad. She's she's been like a household staple for years. You know, it's very sad that she's passed. She's had cancer on and off for over 30 years. That's in almost an I mean a half of a lifetime right there, right? Literally, when she was 72, so almost half of her life, you know, she had cancer. It's terrible, terrible.
It is. But guess what happened tonight?
What? Love
We
you.
did a fundraiser
Mm-hmm.
for the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Thank you, Jason. What's that?
We raised 6,000 in 1 hour for the Susan G. Komen Foundation for breast cancer research.
High five.
We did, and that was amazing.
Yes. Um, I am 24-year breast cancer survivor. Thank
Yeah.
God. So my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. He died at our home last year. 2 weeks after he was diagnosed, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer.
Nuh-uh.
So they were diagnosed 2 weeks apart. They were the healthiest human beings I ever met in my life. They all organic. They exercised every day. Their parents lived to be nearly 100 years old. But my father-in-law didn't make it, and my mother-in-law is still here, thank God. But cancer is no joke, and that's when I started volunteering for the hospice house. So
Wow.
thank you guys so much. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, UG. I remember going live with Molly and Oni years ago. Not sure what the drama was, but I always loved Molly and her determination back then to help. Can't stand people who are trying to smear you now. Oh, that's a nice comment, Marissa. That's a nice comment. I mean,
Thank you.
people can say what they want. God knows, and we know, and
I'm
that's
pretty
all.
confident in who I am as a person.
Exactly.
It's really hard to really offend me, to be quite honest with you. But if you're a billionaire or a genius, and you make some negative comments about me, I'm going to be like, oh my God,
Yeah, that's
maybe I
when you
really should change that about myself.
know anybody should be open to valid criticism about your
Valid,
opinion,
yeah.
but there has to be proof behind that before you can.
Well, no, some other creator told them not to like you, Justin. They were told not to like you. They heard stuff about you.
They heard stuff. Um,
Double fisted.
you can say
Got
you can say
cocoa
a lot of things about Marissa and I, but one of them is we are not scammers. We
fuck out of here.
are very generous with time and money. So, thank you all so much for the super
And
chat.
don't you think that if I was a scammer, I'd have to be a pretty good fucking scammer to get away with it on YouTube for this long?
Oh my God!
We're
Yeah.
going, yeah, we're doing 4 years of this. I'd have to be really slick, and I'm not. So anyway,
Thank you, Michelle.
so the art of toss and wash.
So yeah, so we're gonna go over. I got some PowerPoints that I made.
Okay.
Some of these herbs that Dre is taking, Dre is giving her children, and what the actual herb is. Is it recommended for children? What are the side effects and the precautions?
Wow. So is My question is,
Hmm.
it's to the chat and you.
Hmm.
So, if say a doctor, CPS found out that it is illegal to give these children, is there punishment? Could this parent be arrested or fined or charged?
Um,
Are we going to get into that or no?
um, I don't, I don't know. I mean, with the K that and the K and the Kava, those are the two ones that I would say would be the most likely because you have to be 18 to purchase those
Wow.
because they are here also the chat. They are very mind altering and a high sedative. Let me go to this chat real quick and fix it. Have you heard anything? Have you talked to Serenity's family member?
I think she's talking to my mom now.
What?
Yeah. I introduced them because my mom had
That's
a couple of words to freaking say about that whole thing.
I bet she did.
Yes. Parents can be charged, in your opinion. So that's a Munchausen.
Thank you, Eugene. I can give a lot of insight on Munchausen and herbal remedies by the person who has Munchausen to the victim. I truly believe Dre has. Really? Eugene, would you like to come up later or schedule something later? You just let us know. Thank you for that, by the way. All right. Let me open up this.
And yes, oh, I know that there's a rumor going around that me and Justin are no longer covering Justice for Vaughn. That is
Oh, there's
absolutely not true at all.
boy.
We
I'm
just,
glad I heard about what I was doing.
yeah, I was like, huh? No, we have definitely not been ghosted. We definitely did not ghost the family. We just don't have any updates on Vaughn or anything else. So we keep going. Exactly. Thank you. Please remember, rumors are spread by idiots and accepted by fools.
Yes. People who search with know their own mind, Marissa, they know better. So.
Whatever.
All right, let's do it.
So tired.
Herbal supplements, passion flower, and the passion Dre has for her flowers and other herbs.
Okay.
It was going to be Dre is passionate about her passion flower.
Right.
What is passion flower? Last time my people like to geek out with me, so I like to learn. So what is passion flower? Add a subheading. Freak, I forgot to take that out. Passion flower was used traditionally in the Americas and later in Europe as a calming herb for anxiety, insomnia by lowering the GABA into the brain. GABA lowers the activity of some brain cells, making you feel more relaxed. Now, love you. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you. So the passion flower. This is an actual photo of a passion flower. Um, some people still grow this as an a decorative vine. It's kind of like a vine. Um, there's different color passion flowers. I don't know if you can take all of them based on, the bloom or whatever. But this is a standard passion flower, and it's a very beautiful flower. So GABA is it's like it does something with the nerves, I believe. You can take GABA. That's what gabapentin is coming from. In pediatrics, no studies have examined the effects of passion flower in children. So do not give passion flower to a child without a doctor's supervision. Adjust the recommended adult dose to account for the child or adult's weight. Speak to your doctor for specific recommendations for the condition. Now, the precautions of the passion flower. Where am I? Hold on. Okay. The use of the herbs is a time-honored approach to strengthening the body and treating disease. Herbs, however, can trigger side effects and can interact with other herbs, supplements, or medications. For this reason, you should take herbs with care under the supervision of a healthcare provider. Do not take passion flower if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. For others, passion flower is generally considered to be safe and non-toxic in recommended doses. Recommended doses for less than 2 months at a time. So you should never take passion flower more than 2 months at a time. You can't take it if you're breastfeeding or if you're pregnant, because it can cause you to be, like they say, dull, because it can suppress.
knock your ass out.
Yeah, but
Onesta is a sleeping, Ambien sleeping, Valium. Yeah, that's all.
yes. Passion flower interactions. Passion flower may interact with the following medications. It's a sedative, passion flower itself, which is a drug that causes sleepiness. Because its calming effect, passion flower may make the effects of sedative medications stronger. These medications include, number one, anticonvulsants, right? Which any barbiturates. Now, wasn't Vaughn taking an anticonvulsant that may or may not be actually prescribed to him by a real doctor? Or, I mean, or was it prescribed by Dr. Dre? Yes, Selena, this is the knockout tea, she calls it. I think it's the knockout tea is this with crap. I think it was Kava. This thing, or Valerian Route. She mixes it. To create it, to make it even stronger. Phenobarbital, yes, which is an anticonvulsant. And we do know that the entire family takes this herb, but as we get to the other ones, it kind of goes from least concerning to my opinion to most concerning, in my opinion. Thank you, WG. My ex was in a similar situation with herbs and he wound up in the psych ward for months. His mother gave us all these herbs to him. His mom also said she was his doctor. Wow. Yeah. Make sure your doctor is really a doctor, people. Benzodiazepines such as Xanax and Valium. Now, who was taking Xanax and Valium? Um, Dre, right, was going across the border
Yeah.
and getting these.
Jake.
Ambien, Sonata, Lunesta, uh, like Remeron, different types of antidepressants, anything that changes the dopamine or the GABA receptors in your head. And the source from this comes from Mount Sinai, New York website.
Mount Sinai. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Next, we are going to move on to Valerian Route.
Hi, Julia.
All right. This is an actual photo of Valerian Route. This is the root. This is the upper part. Valerian Route is the root, the actual root. Pardon me. Valerian is an herb native to Europe and parts of Asia. Valerian root has a long history uh, as a sedative. Valerian can grow to be just over 6 feet tall and has a strong odor. It seems to act as a sedative in the brain and nervous system. Valerian has been used as a traditional medicine dating back to ancient Greek and Roman times. People commonly use valerian root for sleep disorders, especially insomnia. Valerian is also used for anxiety,
Jake.
stress, and many other conditions, but there is no good scientific evidence to support most of these uses. And the source is WebMD for this. Okay. Side effects of valerian root. Valerian is usually well tolerated. Some common side effects include dizziness, drowsiness, headache, stomach upset, mental dullness, vivid dreams. It can cause withdrawal symptoms. It can cause withdrawal symptoms when discontinued after long term use. To avoid withdrawal symptoms after long term use, it is best to reduce the dose slowly over a week or two before stopping completely. So, as you can imagine, this is something that you wouldn't want to give to your children. You don't want to give anything to your children that could even closely resemble a withdrawal. Right, Marissa? Hello? Are you okay? Can y'all hear me?
So, Justin,
Yes.
one would have to ask, what would be the benefit of mom trying to sedate her family? Was she trying to just put them all to sleep so she could put on makeup and go on the internet and sell crap jewelry? I mean, I hate
Uh,
to be, so, yeah.
You know,
Blunt.
that's a good question. I want to know if it's is it, does everybody have to, you know, nearly stay high in the house to put up with her? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
is it the other way around or what? There's no sense in giving. I mean, the next three herbs that we're talking about, they all have withdrawal symptoms. And two, you can go to actual rehab for. What's wrong?
None.
You got a headache?
Yeah.
I can tell.
My husband's talking to his sister. They're talking about my little brain tumor. She's a psychologist. She doesn't like life coaches.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. She likes
Yeah,
me. She just doesn't like life coaches. I
yeah,
was like, why would that be?
yeah. I know that there's a. It's kind of
I don't.
also like a rift between doctors and chiropractors,
Yeah.
psychologists, and life coaches. Right? It's kind of
This is the thing. I don't. I mean, I talk to people that are on meds and stuff, but you know, I'm just like a decision, like help you with your decisions. I give good advice. That's all it is. But let's really ask ourselves this question again: why would a mother want to sedate her family,
yeah,
mainly her husband? So, if in that police report she states, and we have to think about this logically, if she stated that he woke up, cleaned himself up, had his vitamins, blah, 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 blah,
hmm,
she made sure to say he had his vitamins. That's
yes,
that's what they're gonna find in his system.
hmm,
Then why would she say, and this is the big conundrum, is why would she tell the police we had a disagreement? And we had a disagreement last night. No one chases me out of my bed, but she was on the couch. Okay.
I
So,
think it was a full blown fight, to be honest with you. In my
hmm
opinion.
so,
Two Skull One Swing says, Justin, she kept them high to make them all comply.
oh,
When you guys are ready for guests, I'd love to give insight on this. It's hard to understand, but Munchausen is real, and most of who have Munchausen's go the herbal route because they aren't doctors. Yeah, they like to self treat. You know, why does, like, it's good to be, to be healthy, and but she was so out there that it was actually doing the opposite for her and her family.
yes, yes.
It was
So,
doing the absolute opposite. They
a
looked
lot of yeah,
emaciated.
sometimes with neurological things, like people that don't have ADHD, they take ADHD medicine, it does the complete opposite. Me, in the past, I've never worked well with antidepressants.
Right.
They do the opposite. Everything that it says, please stop taking this medicine and contact your doctor if you're experienced the following.
It's a good
I'll
thing. Okay.
experience all of them. I've never had good luck with them.
It's craziness. So valerian is
Mhm.
usually well tolerated. Some of the side effects include the following: dizziness, drowsiness, headache, stomach upset, mental dullness, vivid dreams. It may cause withdrawal symptoms discontinued after long-term use. To avoid withdrawal symptoms after long-term use, it is best to reduce slowly over the week or two before stopping completely. Pregnancy and breastfeeding avoid, and that is via WebMD. Now we're moving on to Kava. Kava is a whole nother deal. The first two you shouldn't be giving to your children in the first place. Really. I mean, this is the thing, Marissa. If you have kids and you let them run out their energy and play and be a kid while they're at actual school, they don't need anything to sleep. They're kids, right? Are you okay? She's listening to the phone calls. What's she doing? I know her like a book. She's listening to Adrian and his sister phone call. No, I can tell you that's what she's doing. Okay, so Kava. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. Kava, what is it? Kava is a beverage or extract made from Piper methis whatever plant in South Pacific. It's a popular drink that is used for ceremonies for relaxation. The name kava comes from a Polynesian word awa, which means bitter. I've drank kava in Hawaii and it tastes like dirt. Kava affects the brain and other parts of the central nervous system. Chemicals by kava lactones that are found in kava are believed to be responsible for its effects. When you take kava, it literally makes you feel um, very mellow, very kind of sleepy, that kind of thing. Uh, the Warrior Bride. I'm not really looking at comments right now because have to switch screens to go. So when I'm looking at the other screen, I can't see it, see the comments. Yes, that is right, Jasmine. Everything that she takes is generally, they're all downers. It doesn't matter if it's the herbs or the pharmaceuticals, that they are all definitely considered downers. People reportedly use kava for anxiety. It also is used for stress, withdrawal from drugs called benzodiazepines, sleeping problems, and many other purposes, but there is no good scientific evidence to support many of these uses. Risk and precautions. Someone said the other day, Marissa, on my
Yeah.
Facebook group, they said, every time you hear the hello moto, is Justin getting a message? And I'm like, and that was like, yes, Justin's getting a message every time you hear hello motive. And they was like, that would get overwhelming. And I'm like, yeah, we get that many messages, don't we?
I actually keep my ringer off all day, every day, because I get so many notifications that I want to jump out of a window.
I know. It's a lot. Risk and precautions of kava. Now, kava can be very, very dangerous, particularly in children. Mods, if you could drop Marissa and my Amazon wish list, someone
Oh,
wants it.
I'm okay. I got enough presents to last me till I die. By the way, I had a really bad dream.
You did? What was it?
That princess died.
Because you was talking about it last night.
Is that
That's
why?
why. Mhm. Yeah, you were talking about it last night for quite a while. That's why. Do you have it today?
Yeah, it was today when I woke up from my nap. And then when I woke up from my nap, I look at my phone, and Juju and Jasmine were like, Marissa, Olivia Newton John died. None of them were like, hey, Marissa, you always singing that song. How place did you go? That's one of the songs I usually sing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was like, I was just like, no way, come on. But
It's
yeah,
very sad.
very sad. Well, you want to know something? We're all gonna die, and it's all sad. But you want to know something? To be quite honest with you, she's in a much better place now than she is in this world right here.
Well,
Remember,
she
God wants
did.
all the good ones to themselves.
Oh shit, she had a great place in the Hamptons. Tell me that's good. And a great farm in California, Northern California.
She had a farm.
Yes, beautiful farm. And she had a place. She had several places in fucking Australia and all around the world.
Gosh, she was really raking it in.
Yeah, she was.
Who would have thought?
So she had it pretty fucking good on this planet.
Yeah.
That's what Joan Rivers said. She would always say, "Oh, you know, so and so, you know, she's probably peaceful over there." And she's like, "She had a fucking fat place in the Hamptons. It don't get better than that." That's why I was
Yeah.
kind of doing that joke.
I
I
know
don't
what you
really mean
mean.
that. I don't really mean that, but
Yeah.
um,
But I mean, things like that are only a temporary, you know, it's kind of like me when I get a new pair of awesome shoes or a new purse that I only want, I've always wanted or something. I only get an enjoyment out of it for a small time. And then I get bored of it. It's just like with anything, excitement wears off. It's those things that you can't buy, you know, that don't cost money, that are the ones that you yearn for and the things that you lament over. Like, say, the loss of a best friend
yes,
or someone that you really loved. I mean, don't you wish that you had like an extra day to actually tell that person, I'm sorry, I didn't listen. I'm sorry, I didn't take you up on all the times that you invited me out to lunch and I had an excuse every time. Sorry, I never told you, blah, 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 that I actually really did care about you. You don't get that chance.
thank you, Jane.
So, to be quite honest with you, I have said this to Jake many times. I've said, I am so sorry for bringing you into this world. He's like, what do you mean by that? And I said, because it's a terrible, horrible, evil world out there right now. And what happens if something happens to me? Thank God he's got a good head on his shoulders, but he's a sensitive one. And that's what gets me. So I got to somehow toughen him up. You know? Because you and I, we can handle ourselves. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We
We
grew up
get it.
street. We grew up street. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
But our
uh,
babies
they're very
are a
sheltered.
different thing. They
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. They don't know what it's like to
Exactly.
scrapping and stuff.
Have to suck a dick for a crack pipe. I know. That was a joke, people.
That was a joke.
Yeah, it was a total joke. I assure you, neither Justin or I have ever done that. But wouldn't it be funny if we did?
Hey UG, email me. I'm gonna drop my email. Um and
Sorry. That was a good one because it was so unexpected.
yeah. YOLO, Liz says. YOLO.
Hey, no, don't knock it till you try it, right?
I can't believe how open he is with you. I
Who?
cannot.
Hey, oh, Jake? I know, that was insane last night.
Did you tell Adrian?
I don't know. I can't keep up with him. There's another girl that invited him out, and then two girls invited him and Amir out to the movies, and they wanted to go to the longest movie possible. And I said, well, that would be Maverick. And I was like, oh god. So Jake comes in and goes, we changed our minds. We found that out that the girls were SLUTTY.
Oh wow.
Well, you want to know something? None of the people in my chat can spell, so he got lucky.
Oh my god. See, if I was like 16 or 17 and they said slutty, I'd be like, okay, let's go.
Dude, I was a virgin till I was almost 20.
That's amazing.
No, it's not. I was a fat bitch.
Oh,
No
God.
blowjobs, no hand jobs, nothing.
Usually it's the fat ones that are the blowjob babies.
Hey, thank God. I would have ended up, if I was skinny and gorgeous, I would have ended up like all those girls I went to school with. Pregnant at 16, 17, 18.
Fluffy says, Molly, I resemble that remark. No, that's good.
My sister fell into that trap too. She got pregnant at 18. Yeah. My nephew's what, 30, 32 or something like that? I'm like, holy shit, Dawn. Damn. Crack.
Yeah. Now listen, make sure you give Jake a raincoat.
Oh dear God.
Because you do not want him getting anybody pregnant.
Well, me and Adrian Adrian fucked it up. I said, Jake, you only have sex to have babies. And he goes, what? I said, yes, me and Daddy only had sex 2 times. He goes, really? And I go, yeah, we had sex to have you. And we had sex another time, but it didn't work. And he goes, oh. And then all of a sudden, Adrian goes, well, Jake, people have sex for other reasons. And I'm looking at him like, shut up. And he goes, oh, I didn't get what you were getting at. And I'm like, oh. I don't know. The girls love him. They love him. I'm just like, oh, God. And I knew he was going to be a good-looking kid. I knew it. Did I think he was going to be as sweet as he is? No. But I knew he was going to be.
Don't be silly. Wrap your willy. I agree. So causes of liver damage and even some deaths have been linked to Kava use. Because of this, Kava was taken off the market in Europe and Canada in the early 2000s.
Wow.
So, no Kava in Europe and Canada. Liver disease. People who have liver problems should avoid Kava. It might make liver diseases worse. Although liver diseases is rare in small doses, larger doses should be avoided. Kava should not be given to children, pregnant, or breastfeeding women. Parkinson's disease. People who have Parkinson's disease should avoid Kava. It may make the condition worse.
Well,
The source
interesting.
is WebMD. So you can no longer buy Kava uh, over the counter.
Was she?
Oh yeah, you can buy Kava here
Why was she getting this? For what reason did she say?
as a sedative.
See, but why? Why did she
Sedate
need
everyone in the house and
to sedate everyone? That's my question, is why did she need? I can't imagine being like, you want to know something? Adrian and his job are annoying me. Jake and his sports are annoying me. I'm just going to give them some stuff to make them fall asleep because I want everybody to go to sleep so that I can be on the internet and sing stupid songs from the Andy soundtrack. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why she felt like she needed to do this. Let me tell you something. If I decide to go on a diet, it's going to be my own diet. It's going to be me shrinking my stomach. It's going to be me doing this. Do you think that I'm really going to have Jake and Adrian on clear liquids for 2 weeks? No, they don't need that. They don't deserve it. I wouldn't do that to my kids. I wouldn't do that to my husband. You want to know why? Because I love them.
there's
It's
a
one
lot of
thing to be skinny, and not once did the bitch ever say, "Hey, let's go for a run."
there's and some people said that in chat. There's a lot of Kava bars, especially in bigger cities, where you can take Kava or K, and it causes.
If I was a juror, Justin, I'd have to say that she was experimenting on her own family.
Yes.
And she may have been doing this to do something with this company this LLC that she's trying to push. Oh, you want to be skinny like me? No. Buy these herbs. No. You want to sedate your family and knock them right on their asses? No. Then buy this. No. I bet you $1 million it was going to be hands over fist in profit.
Big T, thank you for your membership.
I bet you she was going to take it. She was going to mark up the price 200%.
Yes.
Telling you. That's what she was going to do. She was going to mark it up over 200%.
A lot of these roots and these leaves and stuff, other things have been found in them. We talked to a doctor when we first started this, and they've also mixed other drugs in with these herbs and stuff, so they become stronger and more dependent, even more so. People taking Kava for a long period will become dependent upon Kava, causing withdrawal. Kava should not be taken more than 6 to 8 weeks at a time.
And this chick's been doing it, what, a year?
Oh, wow, at least. Thank you, Sweet Tea Biggie. Thank you, Jazzy's mom. Appreciate y'all's memberships. Thank y'all so much. Now we go to Kratom. Now this is the worst of the worst. Kratom is an herbal extract that comes from leaves as an evergreen tree grown in Southeast Asia. Kratom leaves can be chewed, and dried kratom can be swallowed or brewed. Now, this is an actual leaf of the kratom plant, the kratom tree.
Would you be all right if I excuse myself?
Go for it.
I think I need to lay down.
Okay. Hope your head feels better.
I love you all. I'm going to catch up with you.
Yes, this is for educational purposes only. Um, Amber, if you're here, if you want to come up, you're welcome to come up. Just let me know. Writer. Amber. Amber, if you're here, you want to come up, you're welcome to. Kay is, I'll drop the link for, while I'm reading this, I can't read the chat, so. Molly is eavesdropping. Yes, that's what Molly's doing. She's listening on the phone call. So, kratom is believed to act on opioid receptors. At low doses, kratom acts as a stimulant, making users more energetic. At higher doses, it reduces pain and may bring a euphoria. At very high doses, it acts as a sedative, making users quiet and perhaps sleepy. Some people who practice Asian traditions medicines consider kratom to be a substitute for opium. Now, that is a very big statement. A substitute for opium. That's. Oh, hold on, I think I just got a text from her. Chicken lady. We're not having anybody come up right now other than Amber at the moment, hun. You're not showing your face either. Okay. Side effects of the kratom. Although people who take kratom believe in its value, researchers have studied kratom think its side effects and safety problems have more than overset any potential benefit. Now, this is very important, what I'm about to read. Poison control centers in the United States received about 1,800 reports involving use of kratom from 2011 to 2017, including reports of death. About half of these exposures resulted in serious negative outcomes, such as seizures, high blood pressure. 5 of the 7 infants who were reported to have been exposed to kratom went through withdrawal. Kratom has been classified as possibly unsafe when taken orally. Kratom side effects. Kratom has a number of known side effects, including weight loss, In my opinion, that's where Dre and the family have lost the weight, because it will make you lose weight very quickly. And the reason it makes you lose weight very quickly, Dre has even spoken to this. Whenever you take your K, you toss and wash it as she does. If you eat anything on top of that, it absorbs the food absorbs the K, which messes with your high or your buzz. So people don't eat because they don't want to get, that they don't want to get rid of their high. Chills, nausea, and vomiting. Dre has talked about this as well before. Um, that she has had nausea and vomiting, and she's been so sick from the K. Changes in urine and constipation, liver damage, muscle pain. Kratom also affects the mind and nervous system, dizziness, drowsiness, hallucinations and delusion, depression and delusion, breathing suppression, seizure, coma, and death. This is from WebMD as the source. It does hit UGWI gal. Can you show your face? Okay, you're good. You can turn it off. Hello.
Hey, sorry.
You're fine. How are you
Things
doing?
have changed so much since like the old days of YouTube live, so I'm like not used to it. But
No, you're good.
I used to know Molly like back in the old days, like 2018, 2017 days.
Back in them old days.
Yeah, yeah. But I loved her. I mean, she was always like, she never, and I don't care what people say. Like, what I get really pissed about right now, I'm just going to get this off the table, is people that are making groups about her. I think they're all just jealous of her ability to like.
Oh, they're making groups about her now?
Yeah, I just gotten, well, I have several like, you know, fake accounts on Facebook, and there's a couple groups that just got created today, and one is just solely against her.
Well, and we probably know who created those, so.
Well, right, and it's like, I mean, and it all has stemmed from this Dre McCrae stuff, and it's like that. At the end of the day, like the family, it doesn't matter why they requested the, or like if you donated money to that family, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to say though about the whole situation with Dre is Munchausen's by proxy is a very real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary. Like what a lot of people do who are the perpetrators, they go through that herbal route because it's easier for them to go to like a have you ever heard of a functional doctor?
Right.
And they go through that rather than a real doctor, because a real doctor is going to say you're fucking crazy. Sorry for the French, but that's what they say. And this happened to the father of my kids.
Oh,
so
wow.
We've been through this. And when I saw this whole thing, like with her, and I watched her, like, and what she was saying, like what Dre was saying, like, I am his doctor. Like I watched all the lives when she was like in the ER with him. And I was like, oh my God, like she is inhibiting him from getting the help he really needed,
Sure.
And that's alarming. And that really does happen, like quite a bit. And people don't really realize this, but I mean, that happened to the father of my kids. And, my kids hate their grandmother because she basically she was like a Gypsy Blanchard. What is it? Dee Dee Blanchard.
Oh, wow. So and what did she do? Like, was she actually diagnosed Munchausen?
Well, she hasn't been yet, but we did a 3-party petition, like to get to that point.
Uh-huh.
But the father of my kids wound up, just to tell my story only because I really feel like it relates to Dre and Von's story, and I feel Von is a complete victim in all this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
he, like my ex was in a situation where he was taken to a spiritual healer when he was in the full on throes of a psychotic breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
What he needed was hospital care, you know.
Sure.
And his mother instead took him because she always wants him to be sick enough where she can still take his social security money, but where he can't get taken away from the state.
Well.
And that's what we've gone through. So I can see how people don't realize, like, I guarantee Dre's getting some money from the state, from Von, one way or another. You know she is. So that's kind of how I see it. Is like there's a whole background to this kind of situation that people don't see, and it's disheartening. But no, I appreciate you guys covering it as much as you have, and like the father of my kids at this point, he is basically like his mother she controls him. He's 40 years old, and she controls him, which is like kind of what Dre was doing to Von.
You know, there was a woman who was arrested at one of the local hospitals here a couple months ago because they actually caught her in the room trying to harm her kid. And they arrested her because it was a case of Munchausen by proxy.
Yep. And what's funny is when you guys talked about Valerian Route, so that's what my ex's mother was caught doing, trying to give him herbs. You know, it's like always give him, you know, he needs just herbs and he'll be fine. Like, no, he has schizophrenia. You can't treat schizophrenia with herbs and leaves and medicines. Like he needs medicine, you know, like pharmaceuticals. That's not okay. Well, she was caught like taking his pills away from him and giving him pills full of Valerian Route just to keep him calm. Because this Valerian Route's really like, if you give it in a high enough dose, it's basically like a hardcore Xanax is what it is. I mean, and that's what was happening. And she did get caught. And I mean, now that's all going through the courts, but this is a real thing for a lot of people. And what I feel really bad about is Dre and Von's kids.
Yes.
You know, like what are they going to deal with like their parents? You know, their dad's now on life support and their mother is just batshit crazy. Well, if people can't prove that she's batshit crazy, she's going to get to raise these kids and they'll just have to live with that kind of a person. And, you know, that's scary and it's sad for them.
Yes. So I agree.
I appreciate you guys doing all the I've been watching this for months. I haven't said anything, but I had to speak out tonight because there are people like trying to drag Molly under the bus, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, we were asked to do this. We just didn't.
Oh no, I know you weren't. Like Letitia, but there are people like that's how terrible social media is.
Yeah.
And like now they're trying to make like you guys out to be the villain, which no, you've been on her side since day one.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. So I appreciate that. And I just wanted to say that. And I really appreciate all the like just the visibility you've given to this whole entire situation, because it's crazy. You know,
it is.
It really is. So but you have a good night. I appreciate it. But just if anybody talks about Munchausen's by proxy, it's a real thing.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely. So, thank you, dear. You have a
good night, honey.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, we're going to finish this. So the kratom and its side effects: weight loss, dry mouth, chills, nausea and vomiting, changes in urine and constipation, liver damage. So this, along with the kava, can create liver damage. And there is, with the kava, there is some scientific studies to back that up as well. Kratom also affects the mind and nervous system: dizziness, drowsiness, hallucinations and delusions, depression and delusions, breathing suppressions, seizures, coma and death. Crazy. So kratom takes effect after 5 to 10 minutes, and its effects last 2 to 5 hours. The effects on kratom become stronger as the quantity taken increases. So, how many spoonfuls did we see Dre taking in that one stream alone? It was like, what, 5 big tablespoons full, right? You remember the time she was giving Vaughn the K, and he's like, "No, I'm good, I'm good." And she's like, "No, no, no, take more, take more." Right? He said he didn't need any more. He said he was falling and stumbling by all the things that she was giving him. Why was he falling and stumbling? Because he was taking barbiturates and herbs and all of this stuff. And it is too much. Too much. All right. So it becomes stronger as the quantity taken increases. In animals, kratom appears to be more potent than morphine. Let that sink in. It tends to be more potent than morphine in animals. The dogs was losing the fur, the animals was having seizures. Everybody was having, so many people in the family was having seizures, but ironically, Dre wasn't. Why? Why? Many of the problems that occur with pain medications happen when these drugs are used as high doses over a long period of time. Dre's been taking this stuff for minimum of a year, and it appears about 1.5 to 2 years. It's not known exactly what level of kratom is toxic in people, but as with pain medications and recreational drugs, it is possible to overdose on kratom. Kratom has been reported to cause abnormal brain function when taken with prescription medicines. Now, were they taking prescription medicines? Yes. They were going across the border to Mexico, getting all of these barbiturates and Xanax and everything, and half the time Dre wouldn't even tell him what he was taking. Or he would say, "What are you giving me?" Or, "Stop giving me this stuff, I'm falling down." These are their words, their actions. It's not ours, mine or Marissa's or anybody or Elle's or anyone else's. This is their words. That's exactly right. Okay. So kratom has been reported to cause abnormal brain function when taken with prescription medications. When this happens, you may experience a severe headache, lose your ability to communicate, or become confused. So if he's taking this stuff with, or the kids or she or any of them, if they're taking this stuff with Xanax, Valium, barbiturates, everything, and they're also trying to increase even the effects of the K by taking the red chili powder and stuff, it just increases it even further. In a study testing kratom as a treatment for symptoms of opioid withdrawal, people who took kratom for more than 6 months report withdrawal symptoms similar to those that occur after opioid use. People who use kratom may be craving it and require treatments. You can Google it right now. There are kratom detox place. There are Kava detox place, and they treat you just as they would any other like opioid dependent kind of things, but particularly with kratom. People who use kratom may begin craving it after required treatments given for opioid addiction. So if you become dependent, you can take Narcan or Suboxone or something like that to help avoid the cravings and that kind of thing. So they will treat this just like an opium dependency. Good night, Spooky. And the source is WebMD. All right. In addition, substances that are made from kratom may be contaminated with salmonella bacteria. That's right. So we have to remember this is just a leaf that is ground up in South Asia in a developing nation, Malaysia, those kind of places. Yes, Narcan is used for ODs, but it is also used in low doses for so you can't get high. It blocks the receptors in low dosage, so you can't get high. So, in addition, substances that are made from kratom may be contaminated with salmonella bacteria. As of April 2018, more than 130 people in 38 states have become ill with salmonella after ingesting kratom. Salmonella poisoning may be fatal, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has linked more than 35 deaths to salmonella-tainted kratom. Now, since 2018 to 2022, the numbers have went up substantially, I'm sure, because since 2020, kratom has really, really ramped up and is way more used than it was from 2018. So, how you hear, I'm sorry, I almost died after a salmonella infection. They are very serious. How salmonella, it grows a lot of, it's in salad and leafy things. Well, all this is just a leaf that's ground up, and there is salmonella deaths that have occurred, and it has. Um, my body is physically addicted to it. I started it for lupus pain. I never got high or euphoria from it. Wow. The time I took it did give me a euphoria and a very like a kind of a high. So salmonella contamination has no obvious signs. So the best way to avoid becoming ill is to avoid products that may contain it. Kratom is not currently regulated in the United States, and federal agencies are taking action to combat false claims about kratom. In the meantime, your safest option is to work with your doctor to find other treatment options. Kratom may be obtained from plants, this does but this does not mean that it is entirely safe. The Cleveland Clinic reports. In fact, kratom can cause serious side effects, including the following: heart attack and abnormal heartbeat, hallucinations, brain disease, insomnia, liver damage, kidney damage, respiratory depression, and seizures. Now, how many of, I mean, at least two of the last medications that we've talked about, or not medications, herbs that we have talked about, can cause seizures, are very, dependent. You can become very dependent on these, and they should definitely not be given to kids. I only got like 3 pages left. So kratom use may cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, agitation, and even psychosis in some individuals. Kelly Johnson Arbor, MD, and medical toxicologist and co-medical director at the National Capital Poison Center, tells WebMD Connecticut increased skin pigmentation is a side effect associated with kratom, but addiction and withdrawal have been reported to occur in kratom users. Signs and symptoms of kratom increase nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and body aches. So this can actually, kratom and kava can cause your skin to change its pigmentation. It can actually cause your skin to change the pigmentation color. Yes, joyful. It can also cause you to become very flaky and scale like. It's very sad. It's very sad that all of these herbs and stuff are shoved down the throats of kids and Vaughn. Effects from kratom withdrawal. In one study, more than 50% of people who used the drug regularly for at least 6 months developed a kratom dependency. Dependent users of the drug suffer physical withdrawals, symptoms similar to opiates or opium, if they stop taking it suddenly. Some of the symptoms of kratom withdrawal include irritability, sweating, nausea, high blood pressure, diarrhea, runny nose, joint and muscle pain, and insomnia. Kratom should never be given to children at any age. You must be at least 18 years old or older to buy kratom in every state. There are states out there, I think there's like 5 or 6 states now, that you have to show your ID in order to get kratom or kava. I mean, Dre actually said that she was their doctor. So she went and got the medicines that Dre wanted to experiment on her family with, and give it to them. But after, thank you, Megan, for the Cash App. I appreciate it, honey. Thank you. I wanted to show y'all a video that I wanted to discuss.
Letting everybody know.
Okay. So this is Dre talking about a little bit of everything and what's been going on with all of the shenanigans that people have been saying. Let me know if you guys can hear it after I start it, please. One second.
Letting everybody.
No sound? No sound? Okay. It stopped working? Okay. We'll just do it like this. Hold on one second. Give me 2 seconds. We should open it up like this.
Letting everybody know.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm letting my family friend listen. This is what's going on. This is what people are trying to do. My sister, my sister, who's pregnant right now with her second baby, was contacted with all these lies, making up rumors as if I did something to my husband and put him in the hospital. What? This is crazy. Just because I don't divulge certain information does not equate that I did something to my husband. That's just insane. So people are really reaching. Now my personal information is being put out there, my address, my phone number. I get.
First of all, I would like to say I have never once. You still can't hear that? You still can't hear it? Sound is good? Okay. Okay, first of all, I just want to say that I have never put Dre's information out there. I've never called her. Um, I mean, I've showed if you're saying public records or something, yeah, I mean that information. You know, I've like the 911 dispatch calls and stuff to her house. Yes, but I've never called her. I've always said, leave her alone. Don't bother her. Um, so I just want to make that very, very clear. And we've never once called her, never once called her a murderer or anything of that nature. The only thing I care about is that Vaughn gets a thorough investigation. Dre trying to look normal. WXYZ. Yeah, I agree, Miss Reed. But she just Vaughn deserves a full investigation, as every human being does. And hopefully Vaughn can wake up, open your eyes, Vaughn, and then he can tell the story.
Calls every day from random numbers. I get text messages from people telling me to kill myself. This is really big. I get my...
Listen, if there is anybody in my group that has ever called and told Dre to go herself, that would be absolutely horrible. And whoever does anything like that should be ashamed of themselves. Which I don't think anyone in my or Marissa's, would do anything like that. I mean, it may have happened, or it may not have, but I don't think anybody from here would ever do anything like that.
A picture of my mom's house was put on the internet. It's just crazy how people say, like, I'm a danger to my children. No, you putting my personal information out there like that is putting my children in danger. So then, people are saying they're going to contact, the VA police. So I went ahead and did that for them.
I've never contacted the VA police, never once.
I contacted the VA police because, number one, he's not even there, so they're not going to do anything. But I know the VA police. The VA police, oh yeah, let me mention, his biological dad did show up to the hospital, but I thought it was his biological mom. So I was like, call security, they can't be here, da-da-da-da-da.
That's convenient. You thought it was his biological mom when it was his biological dad. How do you... That doesn't even make sense.
Tell you, if anyone has a chance of reconciling or keeping that relationship, it's Vaughn's dad, because he did not care that I was like, no visitors. Vaughn's dad showed up to the hospital.
Why didn't you want visitors? These aren't visitors. These are family, Dre. Family.
Because he wanted to make sure his son was okay. So if that's what, I don't have no restraining order against his biological mother. If she wanted to show up to the hospital, she very well could have, but she wasn't going to put in that type of effort because it's all for show.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself for saying that, Dre. For show? You are the show queen. You are the show queen. Everything you do is for show. He can't even have a seizure, and it's for show. It's all for entertainment for you, girl. all for show. This is her son. She gave birth to him when she was a kid herself. You know what? At least she knew she was a kid and that another family member could raise him at the time.
To show that
You show everything, Dre. Everything. Nothing is off limits for you.
she really cares about him when she doesn't.
Okay. Hold on.
Dad did show up to the hospital, but I thought it was his biological mom. So I was like, call security. They can't be here. Da 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 da. Let me tell you, if anyone has a chance of reconciling or, keeping that relationship, it's Vaughn's dad, because he did not care that I was like, no visitors. Vaughn's dad showed up to the hospital because he wanted to make sure his son was okay. So if that's what, I don't have no restraining order against his biological mother. If she wanted to show up to the hospital, she very well could have, but she wasn't going to put in that type of effort because it's all for show, to show that she really cares about him when she doesn't.
Dre, she got in touch with you and you told her not to come out. You said this on a recording. I'm going to tell her not to come out. And that's exactly right, Liz. Then why wasn't it okay for Letitia? Why wasn't it okay for Letitia? Why is it okay for some people to come and not others? You can say what you want, Dre, but this is the thing. You wanted control of everything, of everyone, and to the show to be on you constantly. The show, it needs to be Dre's show. Here, stop and take a screenshot in front of my husband with this cute dress on while he is attached to a machine keeping him alive right now. That'll be cute. And that's exactly right, Vet Girl. Why did she have to get an attorney then? Because there was communications and negotiations that she could go see Vaughn. Because you told her not to come out. She can't see him. Everything like that. It's all about control for you, Dre. That's what it's always been. So to get her away from Vaughn, from others to visit him, they need restraining orders against Dre and get her booted out. If you want to come up, you're welcome to come up. Guys, please hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Please, you're welcome to come up, but be mindful about timing as well. She just said she thought it was Letitia, so called security, and then she didn't make the effort. Girl, bye. I agree. Yes, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. It's the way we get Vaughn's name out there into the algorithm. Thank you, Little Annie. Appreciate it. This is the thing. Dre did not want Vaughn going out to Georgia. Did not want him going out to Georgia. He had an RV. He was talking to his family. We've got him talking to his family on Facebook for the last several years. He called her mom. He called his sisters sis. He said he loved them, and he was trying to mend the relationships that she took away.
Hi. How
Hey,
you doing,
Amy.
Justin? Hi.
Good.
I'll be
Yeah,
quick. We're
okay.
talking, I'm a nurse and I'm looking at that presentation and all the side effects and, the liver hepatotoxicity and you can get renal toxicity. I don't understand why this isn't shown to a judge because my thing is, what are they waiting for? Waiting for these kids to get liver damage and kidney damage where they need a transplant? That they're maturing organs that are developing, that they need to not have these toxins and they destroy everything and they wind up on dialysis. What are they waiting for? Where is this
Question.
judge?
Good question.
I'm so sick of these judges. I'm so sick of it, Justin. I'm
I
so
know.
sick of these people. They're not doctors. They don't need these judges. If they have blood on their hands, they really do. If they're going to let all of these kids in the whole country stay with these dangerous situations, it's very evil. This is very evil that nothing is being done about it. And I feel very bad for the kids. I don't understand what's going on. I really think that if something happens to the kids, the father, I really think these judges need to be held accountable. They need to be sued. I think these judges, they need to have I used to watch the show on cable before all the internet came out. And there was a woman in Connecticut where I grew up. Her name was Glendora or something. She had a public access show, and she would call to her show, there was a black robe crime show. She called these judges, they were part of the black robe criminal, whatever she called them, and she would list all of their stuff, what they were up to. She was trying to inform us, and we have a lot of crookedness in this country that we cannot prioritize the health and welfare of these children. And these kids, in my professional opinion, are at deep risk for,
Yes.
they're cognitive delays. They may not learn with all of this medication that's building up in their brain and all of their organ systems. This is a very dangerous, it's a very tenuous situation, and they need to do something already. And I'm just like, really, oh my God.
Well, when you're growing and your liver is developing, right? Should you be
right.
putting something in your body that can
No.
damage it?
They're going to get cirrhosis. They wind up with hepatitis. They also their bone development. They're going to wind up with not getting the proteins, the calcium from any kind of dairy or any other food product. They'll wind up with osteoporosis. Their whole body systems are being stunted and it's just unbelievable. And I'm just going to tell you. You know what Dr. Dre is? She's like Dr. Mengele. You've heard of Dr. Mengele?
Yes.
That's what I would call her name. She's Dr. Mengele 2.0. That's it. Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Let's the next person speak. I saw her come up. Well, I try to be short. I always try to be short because I know what it's like to wait. But I just had to get that off my chest. I had to get that off my chest.
I agree
as a nurse, as a kid, as an advocate for children. I'm very upset with what I see with this situation and CPS not doing anything for these kids. These judges, I'm sorry, they have blood on their hands. I'm really getting sick of these cases.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. It's like, if this can cause liver damage and hallucinations and everything else like this, and it's like, you're still giving this to kids.
And I don't know why don't these courts have like medical consultants, subject matter experts? This is disgusting. They're not doctors. They're not doctors. These people. They have no clue. They have no business making decisions that are medical based. It's like, would you let a car mechanic make your decision about what you do with your body? No, yeah. That's outrageous. So that's it. I'll let the next person go on. Okay. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.
Always a
Bye-bye.
pleasure.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to talk about like his seizures. So my husband has seizures and he's always going to the hospital. He takes gabapentin for nerve. He takes Seroquel. So he's on those for certain things. But when he has seizures, they give him those big yellow banana bags, and even to come home, they give him prescriptions for like the vitamins and potassium and all the things that he needs to like to regenerate those things in his body. So it's just crazy that he's having all these seizures at home, but he's not replenishing his body, and
Yeah.
it's making it worse. So that's what I wanted to say. It's crazy.
It takes a lot out of you having those seizures, right? When your husband has those seizures, and I'm sorry that he's having them, but whenever, like, it's like a marathon times 10 just having one seizure.
Yeah.
This man is having 8 and 9, and actually Dre said he had more than that night when she was responding the first night we went live, which is the only time she's ever responded. So when he had more than 9 seizures that night, and clearly what she was giving him was not helping, was
No.
not working. I mean, if your husband had 9 seizures right there,
Oh
can
my
you
God.
imagine?
You know, just one is insane. And then
Exactly.
it's crazy. The other thing that's really wild about it is like I was thinking like Vaughn had such a high dose that even if he were to go with like an hour or two without this tea or without these herbs, then he would start to withdraw. You know, and that's why it was so high. And then, you know, there's a video with her talking about the girl's dads accusing her of doctor hopping, you know, because one of the girls was having seizures. And it's like just mind boggling how she's not putting these two together. But yeah, even, you know, watching him do one seizure, and then it takes 4 to 5 days in the hospital just to recover. And they make you stay in there for a while just to recover. So it's wild. But thank you for letting me talk. I'll let someone else come up.
You're fine. I appreciate you. And I mean, I just can't imagine someone there sitting having these scary, horrible seizures. And I mean, and hitting the record button.
Oh, and that's what's crazy is like sometimes I see her and I'm like, oh my God, I know how you feel, like having to deal with this for so long, and you're drained and you're just emotionally drained. She wanted that, and that was the crazy thing. I never once ever thought. I went to the hospital one time with him, and the police there was a big crazy thing because he was on Librium. The hospital had given him Librium to bring him down, and that just set him off. And so the police had to be called. And this cop looked at me and said, "You need to go home. You look like hell." I had been going through everything. I went home. I looked in the mirror. I did not recognize myself.
Yeah.
I did not recognize myself. And for her to just turn a camera on and talk about it and laugh, it's like, you don't think when it's serious, you do not think about yourself in that situation. You think about the person.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. And then can you imagine opening your husband's mouth and then throwing pepper powder down his throat?
No. And you know, the crazy thing is when he first started having them, I was actually thinking about giving him Valerian Route. Because on the website, it's like, this is going to help it. And he was like, no, I don't want to take any of that. I've heard about it. And so he's been dealing with it. He hasn't had one in a long time. But, and, you know, for her to be like, we don't know what it is. You're never going to. She's never going to realize what it is. Well, I mean, the doctors are not going to know what it is because there's nothing physically wrong with him. It's what she's giving him that's doing it. But I hear my baby crying. I'm going to go ahead and go.
All right. Thank
Bye.
you for coming up. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate your super sticker. Yeah, I mean, say what you want, but this is just not normal. And if somebody makes this normal, that somebody having a seizure after seizure after seizure and turning on the camera and asking for people's advice and throwing, you know, cayenne pepper down someone's throat and Valerian root, and they're still having seizures while you're recording it. I mean, if they normalize that, the world is crazy. I'm like, that's not normal. Thank you, Lena. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go to the hospital. Let real doctors take care of him. Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Lena. And Trina, I do believe she thrives off of it. I mean, she has to thrive off of it because look how much she goes live. I cannot imagine going live as much as she does. I just can't imagine it. Like, it's just something that a normal person doesn't, it just doesn't happen. Well, how do you know she cares about you yourself? Said you had an open bias about his mom and lie about it. What is that, Lori? Well, how do you know how she cares? I don't get what you mean. Sorry. She's definitely not a normal person. Nobody better be timing Truth Seeker out. Nobody. Do not ever time Truth Seeker out. Hold on. Truth Seeker, I'll fix that. 1 second, I'll give you a wrench. Let me find it. Truth Seeker. Hey, sweet tea. Uh-oh. Sweet tea there? Hey, Sierra, can I see your face, please? Oh, there you go, sweet tea. How are you doing?
I am.
Oh, we got a little bit of a connection issue, I think.
Hear me?
No, hey, sweet tea, come go out of StreamYards and then come back in and see if that'll fix it. See, okay. Are you there now? Yeah, come back out and come back in. We'll see if we can fix it. Yeah, she sounded robotic. Hello.
Hey, I'm sorry.
How are you? Oh, you're good. You're fine. How are you doing?
I'm gonna turn off my camera.
You're fine.
No, I was just sitting here thinking about it. The seizure part. My dad, God rest his soul, he used to have seizures really bad, like grand mal seizures. And when he had them, he lost control of all of his body functions, like wetting himself and everything else. And I can only think if she sat there the whole time with him going through 8 in one video or whatever, was that man laying in his weight? You know, that just makes me think that could have possibly been happening, and that just breaks my heart even more.
Now, can you say that again? I don't. What?
I was saying, can you hear me?
Yes.
My dad suffered from seizures, really bad grand mal seizures. Mm-hmm. And when he would have them, he would actually lose control of his bodily functions. And we would have to clean him up after he finally came out of it and everything. But I couldn't help but sit and think that if she sat there recording him through multiple seizures, was he possibly laying there like like that as well? And it breaks my heart to think that.
Yes. Yeah, I've thought about that myself. You know, it's such a cruel thing to do to someone.
Yes.
It just is. And for anybody who can normalize this, sweet tea and biggie, I just can't. I just can't with these people who try to normalize something like she has done to her family and the people around her.
And also to have her children like get him or be there when she's out looking for key limes and have to witness that and try to help him, and are they trained to know how to do that, which is even worse.
Yes.
I
Well,
mean,
apparently they weren't trained, and they're so young that a seizure is scary for an adult, right? Like
yes.
it's scary for other adults to see. But a kid, you know, being a seizure and then being alone
Yes.
at home and it's nighttime and the kids don't know what to do. They call Dre, like, just
I mean that it just breaks my heart because he's such a good man. We don't know him, but we grew to love him through his videos, and it breaks my heart because she did have such a good man, and she's treating him like that. And the big E part of my name is my late husband Eric, and I lost him in 2020, and it just breaks my heart that she had somebody so great, and she's just treating him like that. It's just heartbreaking. They're hard ones to find out there, and unfortunately she got one of the good ones, and
yeah,
she's treated him like this, and it's just heartbreaking.
it really is
So
heartbreaking, and I'm so sorry. You know, I knew a man, and he had a brain aneurysm, and it was inoperable. They knew eventually something was going to happen. You know what I mean?
right.
And he had kids. He had kids, but they would never. We would, leave him alone. Like if he would want to go out, and on the tractor or something and take the kids, like on a hayride or something. I'm from the country, so
Oh, me too.
when I grew up in the country, but there would always be another adult with him and the kids. You know what I mean? Or at least
Right.
because and with seizures, I imagine it should be the same way. Like she needs to not leave these kids there alone, scared to death. And but that wasn't such a big thing for her because she left them, and honestly Vaughn did too. They left them at while they was in that
Vegas.
paparazzi thing, Vegas
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that blew my mind too, because you could ask my kids, even with one of them being 20 and one of them being 15, I'm like the mama bear from hell. I mean, I want to
Absolutely.
know where they're at. I mean, I have whatever that 360 is. They know
Yeah.
my location since, my husband passed. They worry about me. And, and then I wanted to also tell you, your opening is so on point with you know, the you never know, because my husband actually was out. Me and him had an argument, and he went on a walk to cool off, and he was hit by a car, and we never got to apologize. I never got to tell him. And so you never know. You don't know when the last time you'll see that person. And so just that message needs to be
Whole world
played
could
every
change
time.
like that. Your entire world
Oh, it did.
switch like that.
Yes. And the guilt of that, of not being able to tell him. I mean, we were together 20 years. We knew that we would make up,
Right.
but he just never got the chance.
Right.
And he was hit by somebody that wasn't supposed to be on the road, shouldn't have been driving. Then I had to forgive that person just because it was eating me alive. I wanted to go hurt him, and
Right.
I couldn't do it anymore. So, but yeah,
I was
life's
hit
too
by a
short.
drunk driver when I first started driving,
Oh wow.
and I know it's
Well, I'm glad you're okay. You're here
yeah, but
because you're doing a good thing.
thank you, but I'm really sorry what you've had to endure.
Well, thank you.
So
But that's all I have.
thank you, sweet tea.
And
Appreciate you.
if Miss Letitia's watching, we love you. Just hang in there. God's got you, hon.
Amen.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye, honey. Hey, April.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. My dogs are going to go crazy. Hush. I just wanted to say that I have epilepsy. I have central localized seizures on the left side of my brain. There's no history in my family. I just, at 36, developed epilepsy.
You never know, do you?
I'm sorry?
I said you never know, do you?
Exactly. And I had to do my own research because, you know, when it first started, I had 15 seizures, one right after the other. And so I called into the epilepsy unit and I said, I'm on my way. I've had 15 seizures. And they said, we don't have a bed. And I said, you better find one. So when I got there, as soon as they got me all hooked up, I had a seizure. I asked the neurologist if it could be caused from my hormones because they were happening around that time of the month. And he said, maybe, and sent me home with 500 milligrams of Keppra, which I felt like I was on a serious drug trip, and started doing my own research and found out there's a specific type of epilepsy caused by your hormones. So the seizures that I have most of the time, it's kind of like zoning out. I can still hear things around me, but I can't talk and I can't move.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're in a trance almost.
Yes. My eyes get dilated
and fixated on something.
I'm sorry.
Does you get fixated on something and they just don't move?
Yeah.
You just
It's just that they're partial seizures. And when I first started having them, they affect different parts of your brain. Mine were affecting my taste buds, which is crazy. Everything tasted awful after I'd have a seizure. But I have had grand mal seizures where I've peed all over myself at work. And, you know, if it doesn't last more than 4 or 5 minutes, there's no reason to call an ambulance because there's nothing they can do once it's over. But I did have one that lasted quite a long time at work and they had to call 911. But, you know, if he was having those other kind of seizures, he might not have even known if he was just zoning out, you know, and just not able to talk or move. You know, I don't know if that was a possibility that he was having those types of seizures as well.
Do you have your seizures under control now with medicine?
Yes, I have for many, many years.
Good. It's a great thing to once you know, there's a lot of help, you know, out there. But
there is, like I said, I had to do a lot of my own research.
Yes.
And I knew what kind of neurologist I wanted. I wanted a female. I knew what I was looking for. I had done all my research. I knew what it was called. I walked into her office the first time with a packet full of paperwork. She walked in and said, "It sounds like you have catamenial seizures." And I almost fell on the floor. I said, "Oh my God, you know what that is?" And she said, "Absolutely." So it's all about finding the right neurologist, the one that's going to listen and care. And we did have to try a couple of different medications, but I take 2 different kinds right now. And I haven't had a full-blown grand mal seizure in a few years.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. But
Thank God.
there, those other type of seizures, like, I kind of get a warning with those. Like, I start getting a tingling feeling, like, in my feet, and it goes all the way up my body. And then you just zone out, and you can hear everything around you, but you can't move or talk. The grand mal seizures, I never really had a sign that they were coming. They just, bam, happened.
Right.
So I think if she would have let him get the help he needed, he might not be where he's at now. And if she wouldn't have been giving him all these drugs.
Exactly.
Which is,
she's not a doctor.
no, it's so sad because it could be stopped, and she's not letting it happen. So.
Yes.
Anyway,
Well,
that's just what I go through with epilepsy. So I appreciate you letting me come up.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up. I'm glad you're much better today. God bless you.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Sierra.
Hi, how are you? I'm sorry it's dark. I need to get my dog inside, but I have been wanting to come up and say something really quick. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, my love.
Okay, so I am actually I'm an addict, and I used to abuse my benzos and my opiates. I've been sober for almost 3 years, but I never had a seizure a day in my life until I started taking Xanax. True story. I had 5 seizures and flipped 5 cars in 2 years because of Xanax.
Wow.
So and I'm dead serious. Only because of Xanax. I haven't had one in almost 3 years. Come on. And I've been sober for almost 3 years.
Yeah, it felt like to me that.
And I don't know when they were coming on, and I had an ambulance called every time because they're really bad.
Yes, I've heard that Xanax can cause some really bad seizures, especially when you're coming off of them.
No, and it's 100. No, and that's the thing. I wouldn't even be coming off of them. It's like if I didn't, let's say I didn't take my medication one day, I felt fine, but I would have a seizure. And come on, baby, come on. And so I'm just wanting to say, we know 1,000% that's what caused my seizures, 1,000%. And so I just have a feeling that maybe I could be wrong, but just keep it in mind. Come here. And that's all I've been wanting to say. I've been putting it in the chat, but nobody sees it, I don't think. So.
Yes. What do you think about the Ativan as well? Because he takes both.
Yeah, Ativan, any benzos at all. So like I had surgery in last October, and I told my anesthesiologist I can't have benzos because I can't have benzos and I can't have opiates.
Right.
But benzos are really dangerous for me because if I even take a tiny piece, I will have a seizure in the next coming weeks. There's no doubt. No doubt.
That's amazing.
So I think when I heard the story, I immediately thought of my situation with him. And I'm sorry, I'm hot. I was just rollerblading outside.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm glad you're staying.
It's hot out. I rollerblade like 10 miles a day, but because in Dallas it's so hot, I can't right now.
Oh my God, I don't know how you can even walk outside in Dallas. My family here live in Texas, so it's.
Yeah, well, that's why I did it at nighttime, but it was still pretty bad. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't think his seizures, and that's just my opinion, I don't think they're coming from anything except for the benzos. It just sounds so much like mine because mine came out of nowhere.
And I'm sure mixing it with a bunch of stuff is not helping either.
No, not at all. I mean, and something else, which I know everybody kind of knows, but Kratom is used for opiate withdrawals. It takes your opiate withdrawals away.
Right.
So in my mind, it's an opiate as well. I mean, I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say. And I just want to say thank y'all for everything you're doing. Say hi.
You're welcome, up in. Hi, puppies. Oh my gosh, you're so cutesies.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too, honey. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Nicole.
Hi. How's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to not so much clear up my super chat comment, but I think it was kind of the way I typed it. without emotion didn't come across correctly.
It's
I
okay.
was basically saying, I got very angry there for a second because you have all of these nitnoid people out here claiming that Miss Letitia didn't make an effort. I'm not going to say names, but you know what I'm talking about. And then you have this woman standing there on a live video, and within the same breath, she says, I thought that was his biological mother, so I was going to have security escort them out, and turns
Bingo.
right around in the same breath and says, but
Thank
she doesn't
you.
make the effort to come see her son. How dare you? How
Yeah,
dare you? You
you
said that
can't.
on a live. And for all these other people that are making these accusations that she's not doing this and she's not doing this, listen to that video, please. Because
Yeah.
if she would have gone there, what would have happened? She would have been turned around.
Well, exactly. I
She
mean,
would have
she
had her
clearly
thrown out.
said it. That's why she had to get the freaking lawyer. You know.
Exactly. So for any of the people, and people have their own opinions, and I get that everyone's entitled to it. I'm just saying mine. If that right there doesn't tell you exactly, she said it out of her own mouth.
That's right.
So I just want it all to stop with Miss Letitia. People need to leave her alone. They need to leave the whole family alone. Like, it just needs to quit. We're focused on a goal here, and that is justice, which, like you said, that is just an in-depth police investigation. Whether it turns out to be whatever it is,
That's
that is all we
exactly.
want.
Listen, it is what it is. Whatever the conclusion.
Exactly.
If she didn't do nothing, fine. If she did something, we'll deal with it. Whatever. All we need is a thorough police investigation, particularly if he doesn't wake up.
Exactly. That is it. That's the end goal.
That's it. I mean,
So
people's making it out to be. I mean, I think she's crazy, in my opinion.
she
You
needs
know what
help.
I
She
mean?
needs a lot of help. She needs
Yes,
a lot of help.
exactly.
But also, people need to look and watch the things that she says like that, especially the ones that are saying, well, why didn't this happen this way? Well, it didn't happen on your timeline or your way, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but you've just heard it out of her own mouth.
Yes.
So those people, I hope they see that. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry I got a little amped up there, but it really upset me when that came out of her mouth the way it did. It just really upset me very bad.
Yeah, well, that's why I played it, because I just wanted people. Usually explained it a lot better than I did, but you're exactly right. It's like she's trying to have it both ways, but this is the thing. Dre has to control everything.
Everything.
It has to be under her control.
I seen a video last night that she was saying she was so glad that he was where he was at now because the doctors were in agreement with her, and that she felt like they were overfeeding him. So she asked them to back off and not feed him as much, and they agreed, and she's so happy about that. And I'm like, you have to control everything?
Yes.
Like, how do you know that the doctors are giving them too much to eat?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. They have a nutritionist who literally measures how many calories he needs, how much of the formula he needs, and everything. She's not a doctor. She's not even close to a doctor.
No, but in her opinion, they were giving him too much, and she demanded they give him less.
Why?
Because she said that was causing him to have the hiccups.
I would rather him have more than not enough.
Yep, personally. She said it was causing his hiccups. So, and she knew for a fact it was from overfeeding.
Hiccups, my ass.
So it's the same pattern as when he was in the home. You want to restrict everything, restrict food, restrict what you take, restrict what you do, who you call, who you talk to. It's all about control for her.
Yep.
It really is. And it's very sad.
Yes.
But I just want you guys to know I love you very much. And of course, I appreciate everything that you and Molly do. Miss Letitia, I love you. Please don't let them kill your spirit, honey. Please. Please. Because we are behind you all the way.
Thank you, Miss.
So, all right. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you.
I appreciate you very much.
All right. Bye.
Take care, honey. Bye-bye. Thank you, BC. We have I really think we have great mods. I do. They work very hard, and I appreciate every single one of them. So thank you for saying that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Of course, Haley, you can get a link. Of course, drop it for you there. Come on up. You're welcome to. In one breath, she says the trauma that his family caused him, but in the next, she says what they did to me. It was personal to her. She should have been supportive but cautious. Instead, she wanted to control. That's absolutely true. And this is the thing, it's not about Dre in this instance, it's not about Letitia, it's not about anyone. It is about Vaughn, and everyone should work for the common goal of getting him better. All right, Haley, how are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I just wanted to hop on and say I'm very frustrated with the people that are requesting refunds. Stop, Brinley. That are requesting refunds from Letitia.
Hi.
That are requesting refunds from Letitia because, for one, it's very rude. You are donating to a cause, a very good cause, and to ask for it back is very rude. But two, that is the only way that we are getting answers. Dre is not going to give us answers. And so when Letitia and Mr. Jackson go there, that is the only way that we are getting answers.
That is the only way. Yes.
So if we want updates,
Charlotte.
keep donating. Like plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how we're going to get any answers. That's how we're going to get any updates. Is Miss Letitia and Mr. Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's very rude, and I just hate it for them. I cannot believe what they're going through.
I mean, this is coming from, a specific creator, from what I understand. And, I always feel like God knows, my chat, my people know, and there's always going to be naysayers, but it's just sad that people get in the way of victims. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I'm not a victim. They're not a victim. Let's focus on the victims.
Right.
We shouldn't be the story.
And in my mind, Miss Letitia and Mr. Jackson are victims just as much as Vaughn is.
Absolutely.
Just as much as the kids are.
This is the thing. If Vaughn did this to himself, they are attacking someone who was mentally ill at the time.
Exactly.
And tried to commit S, right? Attempted to commit S.
Mm-hmm.
Or if something nefarious happened to him, they are going after the family of, even, something more nefarious, like, so either they're going after an attempted suicide victim, or they're going after someone that has done something nefarious, like such as even an attempted homicide, even as worse as it could be, allegedly. So either way, they're picking on one. Either way, it doesn't look good.
Right. I agree.
Either way, they're either picking on an attempted suicide or an attempted homicide. So either way, it's not good. It's just not.
When they all need support right now, whether that be financially, whether that be emotionally or mentally, they all need support. And just to be, ganging up and asking for refunds, and God bless Miss Letitia. I mean, she is way nicer than I am. I would have been like, listen, you donated that. You knew where your money was going. Like, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, if you donate, you have no expectations of where your money is going, in my mind.
It's just crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's blown out of proportion. The making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
internet. That's the internet. So,
Yes. It's a shame.
but thank
Okay,
you,
well, that's
Haley.
all I had to say.
Appreciate you.
All
Thank you
right.
so
Good night.
much. Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye. That's very kind of her. If anybody else wants to come up before we end it, you're welcome to. Um, Miss Letitia's in the house. Hey, honey. Miss Thing, Anna Marie. What kind of doctors takes advice from a nut job, or does Dre legally have the right to tell doctors what to do? She doesn't have uh, the right to tell doctors what to do. Doctors have an oath that they have to abide by, but they also have to um, listen to the patient as well, and they have to kind of balance out the two. So just because we heard something that Dre requested, I mean, if that came from her words, we just don't know anything as far as what Dre requested unless Dre said it. Oh, thank you so much. Where was that comment? Thank you, Happy Camper. Thank you. It's very kind. Hey, girl. Hey, I have never seen more irresponsible woman. The endangers not only with her social media platform, but most important, her family. Boom. You tell him, girl. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you all. If y'all haven't subscribed to Tia Simone, I call her Tia, go subscribe to her, please. She is a ray of sunshine, and her makeup is legit, honey. She does it good, honey. Um, yeah, I want to know, I really want to know if there's just someone, if there has been someone else, or if there is someone else. That would be the most interesting thing, because something is not making sense. So, all right, guys, please hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. It is the way that we get justice for Vaughn's name out into the algorithm of YouTube so people can hear his name. God bless each and every one of you. God bless you, Miss Letitia. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for your compassion, your caring. Um, my heart is just so filled with gratitude for all of you, really. So please hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Good night and God bless. And we will see you, I'm sure, somewhere tomorrow on YouTube streets, as they like to say. Justice for Vaughn. Thank you all so much. Get some wonderful rest. Something's wrong with my computer now. Hold on. Hopefully. Well, my live is not going to end, I don't think, because where's the freaking button? Page up, page up, page up, page up. It's not going. Uh-oh. We may be stuck together all night, guys. StreamYard has been acting crazy. It's been acting crazy. Ooh, I just got some breaking news. That's a sign. That's a sign. I know, right? Telling you. I see you like, whoop, whoop. Sorry, Justin, you can't leave us. Oh, y'all were sweet. StreamYard. My button to end the live is not there. So I'm going to see if I can do it for my phone. StreamYard's been being crazy the last few days. Let's go to Clutch Our Pearls. You know, I haven't started my new channel yet because my friend Jackie, she's been in the hospital, but she's doing a lot better now. We wasn't expecting her to make it, and she's usually one of the first people that is in my chat. So she wasn't able to join, so I wasn't I haven't started out yet. Hanging out. All right, let me see if this works. Thank you, Navy Vet. Okay, thank you, Navy Vet. Oh, God. Thank you, Navy Vet. Thank you, Michelle. God bless each and every one of you. Let me see if I can end it now. Navy Vet says asking for donation back is like going to church, and when you put your offering in the plate, when it comes back around, you decide you want it back. What kind of person does that make you? Yes, Navy Vet, that's absolutely true. Whenever, that's like saying, I'm going to put good karma out. But then it's like, nope, I'm taking it back. I'm taking my karma back. So, yes, that's very true. Okay, love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Love you, love you, love you. Have a good night. God bless. Justice for Vaughn.